Today I'm going to talk about attention, mindfulness, and brain systems. Some exciting new research that we're doing in our lab. I want to acknowledge many sources of inspiration, teachers who have helped me learn about clinical issues, brain imaging, mindfulness meditation, and so forth. So I am incredibly grateful to many of the people represented here and many others who are not, who've helped me to become a clinical scientist. Today I'm going to talk about mindfulness meditation, some of its components and how we've applied it, and then specifically how we've used mindfulness-based stress reduction, MBSR, as a clinical intervention for social anxiety disorder in adults. There are many types of meditation practices, and I'd like to be clear that some of them fall under the rubric or the category of concentration. So, meaning focusing on the breath or on body sensations, using imagery, visualization. Other forms of concentration meditation focus on sound or mantras. And then there's another type of open field awareness, which can be objectless or incorporating all objects, any experience that changes from moment to moment. So these are different forms of developing the muscle of concentration, so to speak. The ability to apply one's attention and to stay focused. A very different category of meditation practices includes what's called analytic, linguistic, or reasoning meditation, which is discursive. So, for example, some topics that monks might debate on or consider is the importance or the preciousness of the human rebirth, possibly the death meditation, or even other kinds of meditations that are associated with generating loving kindness. And these are all linguistic, analytic, and involve discursive cognitive processes. And then finally, there's another class of meditations that has to do with what's called emptiness, or shunyata in Sanskrit, which essentially is dissolving a mistaken view of the nature of self and objects, using analytic and then becoming non-conceptual, direct understanding of how things actually arise and change and exist from moment to moment. So these are three different classes of meditation. Currently, there's an explosion of interest in incorporating Eastern notions of clinical practice, of meditation, and bringing them into Western traditions of clinical interventions. So, for example, one of the best known is mindfulness-based stress reduction, developed by Kabat-Zinn almost 30 years ago, incorporating some specific forms of meditation practice in order to treat people with chronic emotional and physical pain. Another derivative of this is mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. It's very skillfully weaving together some aspects of cognitive therapy and mindfulness meditation practice that's been developed by Zindel Siegel, John Teasdale, and Mark Williams. And that's been shown to be very helpful as a relapse prevention into major depression. Not a treatment for depression, but relapse prevention. Dialectic behavior therapy, developed by Marshall Linehan, explicitly incorporates as one of its four key components mindfulness meditation practice. And this has been shown to be extremely helpful for borderline personality disorder, and is being used for eating disorders. And then another newer version is what's called acceptance and commitment therapy, Stephen Hayes and others, where they incorporate meditation practice, mindfulness practice, and skillfully weave Buddhist ideas and philosophy without talking about Buddhism. Here I'm going to be focusing on mindfulness-based stress reduction, which is the specific form that we used in our current wave of studies. Mindfulness, MBSR, really consists of multiple components, one of which is formal meditation practice, meaning breath-focused awareness, doing body scans to enhance attentional focus, explicitly engaging attentional shifting to different sensory modalities, and then finally, generating compassion or loving kindness. And these are all what would be called the formal meditation practice that's done during an 8-session course of mindfulness-based stress reduction. But equally important is what's called informal meditation practice. This could be taking a meaningful pause, shifting one's attention to the breath, even for 1, 2, or 3 cycles of breathing, which could be anywhere from 3 to 9 to 15 seconds, and doing this multiple times per day. And some of the work we're doing now is trying to tease out which of these components are related to which treatment outcome measures. And then the third important component is yoga, hatha yoga, or physical stretching, where people are encouraged to bring that mindful awareness to physical sensation while engaged in yogic postures. And another component that's not mentioned here is also mindful walking. So you can see that it's really multiple components, and it's not yet clear which of these components is most important for treatment outcome for different disorders. In terms of clinical effectiveness, now there's about 3 decades of research on MBSR showing that overall, in general, it's very effective for reducing stress reactivity, helping with the reduction of pain experience, reducing the symptoms of anxiety and depression. Mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, as I said earlier, has explicitly been shown in 2 large clinical trials to be effective as a relapse prevention measure for people who are at risk for major depression, but only in people with 3 or more previous major depressive episodes. For people with less than that, it's not been shown to be especially helpful in preventing relapse. So mindfulness, what actually do we mean by mindfulness? Well, John Kabat-Zinn, shown here, has defined it in the following way. Paying attention in a particular way, and in terms of psychology, we think about it as enhancing attentional focus, specifically the ability to alert or to bring vigilance from moment to moment, the ability to reorient one's attention willfully, volitionally, on purpose, and then executive control of attention, goal-oriented, focused attention, actively inhibiting things that are irrelevant while enhancing attention to that which is relevant. Doing this on purpose, meaning with a very specific intention or motivation for well-being, reducing psychopathology, doing this in the present moment, meaning avoiding now, i.e. experiential approach as opposed to avoidance. And then doing this as best as possible in a non-judgmental manner, bringing an attitude or sensibility of acceptance and curiosity about one's own experience from moment to moment as it unfolds.